Good morning. The Loudoun Teachers Union has filed an unfair labor practice complaint against Loudoun County Public Schools, while negotiations on the district's first ever collective bargaining agreement with that union are officially at an impasse. For Wednesday, October 15th, it's your Loudoun Now Morning Minute. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rence Green. The Loudoun Education Association, the union for educators in Loudoun County, has filed an unfair labor practice complaint against the school district. The union and the school district are also at an impasse as they try to negotiate the district's first ever collective bargaining agreement. The deadline to do that was October 1st, and since that has now passed, they're automatically at an impasse, which means bringing in a mediator. LEA President Chris Countryman said yesterday that the union filed that complaint. Lisa Bolin, the school division's chief human resources officer, said that the time it takes for the Loudoun Education Association to ratify an agreement means the two sides need to have an agreement by the end of November. And she said they are in the final and most critical stages of negotiations and that both teams are working diligently to reach a responsible agreement. According to LCPS spokesperson Dan Adams, quote, "Despite the impasse, the LCPS and LEA bargaining teams can continue to meet in an endeavor to reach an agreement to present to the school board and LEA members for their respective ratification by the December 1st, 2025 deadline for all such negotiations as set forth in the resolution." End quote. Go to loudounnow.com/Morning Minute to check out the whole story. In other news, and speaking of the school district, facing its lowest enrollment in nearly a decade and retaliation from the federal government over its policies on trans kids, Loudoun County Public Schools is looking at coming up short on its budget this year. Loudoun County Public Schools staff gave the school board the report on their first quarter yesterday, and they're facing a $7 million shortfall in the school district's operating fund. Some of this county staff members attribute to low enrollment. The school district's enrollment is just about 80,600 students, which is the lowest it's been in 9 years. That could result in an $8.8 million shortfall in the operating fund, which is partially offset by a $1.3 million surplus from state sales tax revenue. On the other hand, the division does also have a surplus of $32.1 million in its salary and benefits fund. The school district is also having to file monthly requests for federal funding because the feds labeled the school district high risk after the Federal Department of Education alleged Loudoun has violated Title IX with its protections for transgender students. According to school district staff, there's still $31.9 million in federal funding outstanding. They warned if that doesn't come through, the district could need to make more cuts. The school district is also looking at a net loss of nearly $26 million from the school district health care fund. This comes after switching providers and raising premiums by 12%, with plans to raise premiums in 2027 by as much as 20 to 25%. But this year, like last year, the school district may have to pull money from other funds to cover a budget gap. An inmate at the Loudoun County Adult Detention Center was reportedly stabbed during a fight at the facility Saturday. LCSO spokesperson Chad Quinn said the incident, quote, involved an altercation with a sharpened improvised object. According to Sheriff's Office data, 64 crimes have been reported at the jail this year, including one instance of malicious bodily injury to a law enforcement officer and 39 cases of assault and battery. And a Loudoun County Circuit Court judge is scheduled to review Purcellville Vice Mayor Carl Nett's grievance against the town for firing him from the town police department. Nett joined the police department in 2022. He then ran for and was elected to the town council in 2024, taking office at the start of this year. And in April, he was fired from the department after an internal investigation conducted by an outside law enforcement agency. He had also been placed on the Brady list, which is a list of law enforcement officers whose testimony may be considered unreliable, and being on that list must be disclosed to the defense in a criminal case. Commonwealth's attorney Bob Anderson placed him on the list after verifying Nett had, on 2 occasions, told the police department he was too sick to work, but then attended events in his capacity as a town council member. He also attended a meeting as vice mayor while on duty. Nett filed a grievance over his dismissal, and a 3-member panel met to review that. According to the town's employee handbook, one member of the panel is selected by the person filing the grievance, and another by the town manager, in this case, town manager Kwesi Frazier, who campaigned for Nett, and who has also since been charged alongside Nett with felony bid rigging and commercial fraud against the town government. Their 2 appointees chose the 3rd member of the panel together. The panel ordered Nett be reinstated and get back pay and attorney's fees. The town's grievance policy also states that the question of whether relief granted by the panel is consistent with the town's policy shall be determined by the town manager. However, in cases where the town manager has a direct personal involvement, a decision shall be made by the Loudoun County Circuit Court Chief Judge. That's Chief Judge Douglas Fleming, who's scheduled to review this on October 24th. Get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, it's the 3rd Wednesday of the month, which means tonight is the 3rd Wednesday Bluegrass Jam at Hope Flower Farm and Winery in Waterford. Free and open to the public, and they invite you to bring an instrument and join in the jam. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudon.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, work the Morning Minute jingle into the Bluegrass Jam on your fiddle tonight to tell everyone there about the podcast, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay. Have a great day.